you from Shambles to Shambhala. I'm Zia, and this is Sophie, and we're back. We took last month off from being on camera, but Peter was with you in February. Sophie had a lovely month off. She spent a lot of time keeping me busy, pulling some very interesting tricks. I apologize for this month's video being a little bit late. I was hoping to get it out to you on the equinox or just after. It just was not meant to be. It has been a crazy month so far, and I don't know what's happening with you guys, but for me, March started off with major roof work happening at my place, and I didn't know it was going to be happening ahead of time. So it's kind of turned my world upside down a little bit. And also my computer, my beloved laptop, crashed last week. It's taken me a while to get set up again with a new laptop. I know some people are going through a lot more than that. And I totally feel for you. And I just wanted to share what I'm going through because sometimes it helps to know that you're not alone. And everyone is going through big stuff right now. Big stuff, little stuff, chaos. And I know what helps me the most, as always, is just being out in nature. It's just a matter of getting out there. Because for those of us who work on the computer a lot, sometimes it's really easy to get stuck in that rut of just staring at the screen all day and not taking breaks and pauses and getting outside for that nourishment. So I've just gotten back from a beautiful walk and I feel totally recharged, revitalized. And this month I'm really excited about our special guest, Lois Ross, who has just written and published a brand new book called Rhapsody of the Soul. And Lois was my teacher in the Incan Medicine Wheel back in 2002 to 2004, along with Diane Risen. And the two of them made the greatest team. Lois and Diane were among the first to share the ancient teachings of the South in this part of the world, and I'm so grateful to them for doing that at that time. And I'd lost touch with Lois until 2017, and she showed up at the 64 Names of Love in Victoria when Richard Rudd was here for that particular retreat. And I'm just really excited to have this opportunity to share Lois's beautiful wisdom of the soul with all of you. So please stick with us to the very end of the video for a special treat. And in the meantime, let's go over to Peter and see what's going on this month.
Hi everybody, here we are at this absolutely magnificent location right on the ocean as we come to the end of Pisces this year. Right behind me there's a lighthouse, which is the final point on the ley line that runs the backbone of Vancouver Island. So we're right in the base chakra here, the supporting energy for the whole of the island. So it's just a great space to be in. And also the ocean represents Pisces. The three water signs: Scorpio tends to be the still pond, Cancer the flowing stream, and Pisces the ocean, the sea of consciousness that of all that is. And as we come to the end of Pisces this year, it is the final sign in the astrological cycle, so it brings the whole year to completion. But in my view, I'm seeing this as the end of the whole Piscean age, of the 2,000-year period finally coming to completion. And this leads us into the equinox on Saturday, very early in the morning, the 20th of March. And what's important about this is the four key points in the cycle of the year: the winter solstice, the spring equinox, the summer solstice, and the fall equinox. And if you look back to the winter solstice 3 months ago to this moment now, it's been really, really amazing how the planets have lined up to support us through this next phase of our evolution. And so now we step into the spring equinox. We bring our Piscean energies to an end, looking back into the past and clearing out all the ties that bind us. I pulled a card for our meditation last week, and the first card out was Unbound. and it was inviting us to let go of all the old patterns that keep us locked down and trapped, and set ourselves free so that we could step into the new energy of Aries. And Aries is the beginning of the journey. It's a brand new journey that we're about to step out on. And in the tarot, it's the Fool. It's the beginning of the journey. You don't know what it's going to lead to, where you're going to go. You just have to take the first steps and move into it. So this is taking the dream of Pisces and converting it into the action out in the world of the way that you're going to be in your new energy in the new world. So it's a very exciting time, although we're going through all these challenges and difficulties in the world. From our perspective in the higher consciousness realms, it's about really stepping forward now and really going out into the world and doing our work. And it's not about protesting, it's about just being true to ourselves and doing the job that we've come to do in the highest possible frequency that we can. And closely related to that, I've just finished this wonderful book by Lois Ross, Rhapsody of the Soul. And Lois is a wonderful woman who's gone deeply on her shamanic journey in life and has written this book with all of her own stories, but also the journey through life and touching into every deep, dark corner to bring it out into the light. And it's a really well written book, very clear, and it's really well grounded. Nothing woo-woo about this. So I really strongly recommend that you get this book. And actually Lois is now going to say a few words as we hand the shambles to Shambhala over to her.
Rhapsody of the Soul. It's a book that came to me to write about the magnificence that we have inside of ourselves, that we've forgotten how to use it and how to access it. The soul tries to nudge us every day in anything we happen to do in life, trying to help us to have the best experience as possible. And we've forgotten how to listen. We've forgotten that it even exists. The soul has been something that's been with me from my teenage years. My brother used to talk about it. We thought he was just talking nonsense, but as time's gone on and that you understand that it was really the truth, and he knew that as a young person. When it really became strong for me was when I was asked to give a keynote speech for a Healing Touch conference, and they wanted me to decide of what I was going to talk about, and I decided it would be Journey of the Soul. And in preparing that and in presenting it, I realized how few people understand that there even is such a thing. For many, many years I did energy healing, and I never wanted to do treatments with people where they were silent. I wanted to interact with them because I wanted them to be part of their healing. It wasn't something that I did to them. When we would get into the healing space, which settles everything down, and for most people they can access the most profound information that comes from within themselves, it seemed that the book was a way to make that available to a wider audience. I was raised in northern British Columbia in a farming community, and I went into nursing when I was 19. Most of my nursing experience was in the operating room, where I learned the intricacies beneath the skin. It was my own journey of health that caused me to look deeper at what caused illness and what created health. So I went into holistic health, which took me into energy healing significantly. So I left nursing and went into energy healing full time. And a hummingbird came one morning, and it was early in the morning, and I was laying in bed, and it just flew outside the window, just hovered outside the window. And I wondered what it was looking at. And then later, I was sitting on the deck, and it kept buzzing me over my head. He got my attention, or she got my attention. I found out after that the hummingbird is called an Estrella, and it means it comes from the stars, and they usually show up as a call to the teachings. It was within a year, maybe even 6 months, I was enrolled in the shamanic studies of the Inca of Peru. And in those teachings, I found that the hummingbird is a message of the ancient wisdom, a message of the elders. And the hummingbird reminds us to drink only from the sweetness of life, and also reminds us that we are enough for the journey of our lives. My hope for the book is that it lights something inside of all of those who touch it and who look inside the cover, that something will ignite in them and they will remember that they are magnificent.
Okay, any last words?
No, just enjoy and laugh.